All right. Second time's the charm. Joined by Ryan Odom, head coach of the VCU Rams, the Atlantic 10 tournament champs, the Atlantic 10 conference champs, beat George Mason in a heated final in Washington, D.C. They're going to the big dance Thursday afternoon, Rocky Mountains, taking on BYU as an 11 seed. What's up, Coach? How are we doing today?
I'm doing great. Obviously winning that championship, yesterday with this group was really special, really gratifying, and just really pleased for our school, pleased for, the players that work so hard for this. This is their time, and certainly a reward to play in the NCAA tournament. And they're excited, about the matchup. We know that BYU's had an awesome season and in a really tough Big 12. They've been challenged every night, and we know we're going to have a big test in front of us.
When you look at this matchup, because BYU, I watched them play a good bit this year, this team can shoot the lights out. Y'all play ferocious defense, play a lot, play some lower scoring games, man. Y'all are really good. How do you feel about having to defend the 3-point line against them?
Yeah, it's going to be really important, obviously. Our team's been good at it, this season. The defense has been ranked, basically top 25 all year. I think we're first right now in effective field goal percentage. The raw number would be fifth in the country in defense. And so we feel good, about any game we go into, about our defense. Offensively, we've been pretty good this year, too. We were first in the Atlantic 10, this season. So the key, when you get to March, and throughout the season is having the most balanced team that you can possibly have. And you're going to have some poor shooting nights. And we did not shoot it well in the conference tournament. I think we were 28%, from three over 3 games. And we were still able to win. And I think we were able to win, because of timely execution. But our defense certainly stood up when we needed it most. And we're certainly going to need it, against a prolific offensive team, one of the best in our country, in BYU.
Yeah, one thing that's interesting to me, I'm curious from your perspective as a coach and players, playing in Denver. You're playing at 5,200 feet.
Yeah.
And it takes a day or two to get adjusted to that altitude, and obviously it makes the legs tired and the thin air. Are y'all trying to get out there early? Like, how do you get your guys to adjust to that?
Yeah, we actually did it last year in the NIT. We played at Utah, and that was a tough game. We had been on the road. We played at Villanova and then went down to South Florida, played down there, and then stayed out on the road and went to Utah. And certainly not an easy 3-game road trip there. But, our guys are used to it. They'll be fine. They're young kids. We'll go out on Tuesday, tomorrow, and try to get situated and get a practice in. And this is a veteran team. They understand routines and how you prep for quick games. And this certainly is going to be a quick prep for us to get ready. The key thing for us, is to have fresh minds and fresh legs and to really, go for it when we get out there. And, hopefully we'll have some fans come out. We know BYU will have a ton of them there, which will make for a great atmosphere. You always want to play in front of, fans. And, March Madness is about the upset. And certainly, prior to getting to the Final Four, and we're lucky to be a part of it, and we're going to put our best foot forward.
How much of an adjustment is it? Obviously, y'all had a bye in the conference tournament, but you still had to play 3 games. I believe 3 games in 3 days. And you get a quick turnaround. You got a cross country trip. Is that is that tough on the players?
Yeah, it's definitely tough. But at this time of year, it's like you're not really worried about where you're playing. Mm-hmm. I think there are other teams from the East that are going all the way to Seattle. And so, it's just part of it. You as a kid and a coach, you grow up wanting to be a part of this. And so there's no reason to complain about, where they're sending you or who you're playing or any of that. It's just let's go. And we're fortunate to be in it. Let's go try to make the most of it.
Yeah, I'm curious, too. The thing about college basketball, you play a whole season. You practice all summer. You do all that. And, man, you get to these, conference tournament championship games and NCAA tournament games. You got 40 minutes, and, every possession, everything is all on the line. I just can't imagine what that's like being a coach or a player where everything's just so magnified.
It's intense. The funny thing is I'll have friends that'll come to games, and I had some that were in DC, because we lived in Annapolis, when I was coaching at UMBC, and we had a bunch of friends at the game, and they sit right behind the bench and they watch you work, and they're like, man, I didn't realize it was that stressful. It's a lot, and every possession matters, and it's really physical, and these kids are so big. When you sit up close to it and you actually see it, these young people, they're athletic and they're big and they're physical and they're competitive, and they're laying it out on the line and competing, at the highest level, and really trying to do their best to win. And it's fun to be a part of. It really is.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I mean, that's what you do it for. Do you have any particular favorite NCAA tournament memories through the years? I mean, I grew up watching your dad's Wake Forest team with Randolph Childress
Yeah, I
and
love
Tim
watching
Duncan.
his team. I mean, certainly, Duncan and Childress and Rodney Rogers and those guys, watching them at Wake Forest, was always fun. I was in college at that point, so my season would finish, and I would head over there and watch, however far they could make it. I think they made it in the Final Eight that one year. They were number one seed and got beat by Kentucky. But, you always remember the upsets. You remember Jimmy V, doing his deal in 1983, and certainly Villanova, beating Georgetown that year, and there are all sorts of Cinderella moments. VCU, and I was sitting in the arena that year watching VCU in 2011 make the Final Four.
Came out of the play-in game.
Yeah, I mean, just really impressive stuff, and I've got two guys on my staff here that played in that game, and were a part of that, and they would love nothing more, than for the guys on our team to experience something like that.
Now you are at 11 seed in 2011, 11 again. It's
Yeah.
it certainly happened before. When I look at your team, I'm so impressed. I hope I get Max Shulga. I hope I got his name right.
Yeah,
he's awesome, man. Like I was just watched him a bunch this weekend. I mean, I feel like he's just all over the floor and can beat you so many ways.
Yeah, I mean, he's really elevated his game every year. You saw him here last year when you came to the game, and that was a fun game to have you at. But he's a dynamite player. He's a consistent defender. He rebounds the ball. He's a knockdown shooter. And I mean, he had 2 points in a game the other day and 11 assists, and I think he had 10 rebounds or something. And he was the player of the year in our conference. And you would think, well, man, he only scored 2 points. How on earth did your team win the game? And obviously, we have good players. We have other good players, but he's all about making the right play for our team. And when we need him to step up the most, he does it. He did it the other night, last night, in a big way. He banged a three to kind of give us a little bit of separation when we needed it. And, I'm lucky that he's on our team.
Yeah, no, I would agree. Well, y'all coming out of the A-10, I had such a great experience coming to visit y'all last year. Man, y'all's fan base is awesome. I mean, and then the Peppas are the best. That's the best band in college basketball. I feel like y'all have got a real unique environment and culture there.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Our fans are tremendous, and DC was packed. Every game was packed with VCU fans, and the black and gold were out and cheering for us, and really gave us a boost all season long.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just so impressed. And just the Atlantic 10 in general, the passion for basketball in that league. I mean, it's a lot of non-football schools where college basketball, is number one. And just you see it all over the league. I see it on Twitter. The fan bases are always arguing. I feel like people don't understand how intense that league is.
Yeah, it really is, and it's fun to be a part of it. And we have a lot of great coaches in this league and great individual players, and it's certainly really, really competitive night in and night out.
Yeah, we do a Barstool Bracket Busters draft where we draft all the 9 through 16 seeds, and it's whoever gets the farthest wins like $40K prize. Y'all went super early today. There was definitely some faith in VCU. My team had the 22nd pick, but like y'all are literally our number one. But we unfortunately y'all were long gone when we came up. We got the Grand Canyon. We got the Antelopes.
Oh yeah, Coach Drew. He's got a great team. That's 3 in a row for him. I know that.
Yeah, no, I'm super impressed. Well, also, before I let you go, got to mention the funny thing. Hoping this summer, maybe early June, little Chicago Theater Widespread Panic Run, maybe. Maybe.
There we go. There we go.
June 4th to 6th, a little off season.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Thanks for
Yeah,
the invite.
Oh, yeah, coming up here. It's like a Wednesday through Friday, so I'm super.
Is it really?
Super excited. Yeah, oh, yeah, super excited about that. Well, we're going to be pulling for y'all. VCU playing Thursday afternoon in Denver against BYU. Hope when they move on, the winner of Wisconsin, Montana. So I feel like don't let the Rams get hot here. I don't know. I feel really good about y'all's chances. I think I'll make a run here.
I love it. We appreciate your support. It's always great to be on with you, Mintzy.
It's Coach Ryan Odom of the VCU Rams, the A-10 champs, the A-10 tournament champs, regular season champs. Thursday afternoon, BYU. Big dance. Love it. Thanks for your time, Coach.